Okay, what is the single best investment a society can make for its future? Is it shiny new buildings? Cutting-edge industries? Well, the source material we're digging into today makes this incredibly powerful case that the real answer, it's people. Let's dive in and see exactly why.
So here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll get into the core philosophy, why people are the absolute foundation of everything. Then, we're going to face the crisis in our current education system. But don't worry, from there, we'll see how a digital revolution is offering a way out, completely changing what a classroom can be, and we'll end with an urgent call for a real renaissance.
All right, part one, the human foundation. Before we can even begin to talk about schools or tech, we've got to start with something much, much bigger. Just for a second, forget all the usual ways we measure success and ask yourself, what's the real building block of a great civilization?
I mean, think about this phrase. It's rooted in the very first command of the Quran, and it sets up this idea of a civilization built not on power or money, but on knowledge. It's all about a revolution of knowledge over ignorance, a society where learning is the absolute highest calling.
The thinker Malik Ben-Abi just nailed it. He argued that a civilization is really made of only three things: people, place, and time. Everything else, all the buildings, the industries, you name it, that's just stuff you get later. The key insight here is that the human being isn't just a part of the equation, they are the engine. The person is what activates the potential of the place and the time.
And that leads every single society to this fundamental choice. Is it going to be driven by a spirit of materialism, investing in stone? Or will it be guided by a spirit of ideas, investing in its people? Honestly, this one choice pretty much defines its entire future.
So if investing in people is the goal, how are we actually doing? Well, that brings us to the crisis. And our current educational approach is failing on two huge fronts. We're putting our money in all the wrong places, and a lot of our teaching methods are just not working.
The numbers here are just unbelievable. Study after study shows that the best investment you could possibly make is in a child's early education. For every single dollar put into primary education, societies get a return of $17. 17! Not making this investment isn't just a social loss, it's a flat-out economic disaster.
And this chart, this shows the other side of the crisis. It's not just about cash, it's about quality. Look at this. The single most important factor in a student's success is their teacher. After 3 years with a poor teacher, a student's performance can tank to the 37th percentile. But with a great one, they can soar all the way to the 90th. The difference is just insane.
So here's the bottom line. We can't leave a child's future up to the lottery of which teacher they happen to get. The biggest challenge we've got is figuring out how to free education, to literally hand students the keys to knowledge themselves, so that the best information is available to everybody and they're protected from being the victim of a bad year of instruction.
And right when the problem seems totally overwhelming, a solution starts to appear. And that brings us to the digital revolution, a massive shift driven by tech and pioneered by individuals who just saw a better way to get knowledge out there for everyone.
And it really all starts with a simple story. Back in 2004, a guy named Salman Khan started tutoring his relatives online. As more people asked for help, he just started a YouTube channel. By 2009, the response was so huge that he quit his job as a financial analyst to dedicate his life to creating Khan Academy. A simple need just exploded into a global movement.
And the impact? It's been absolutely monumental. Khan Academy now gives a free, world-class education with thousands of video lessons. But what makes it so revolutionary isn't just the content, it's the style. It feels like someone is sitting right there with you, working through the problem together. And that personal touch has been a total game changer.
And listen, this isn't just one academy. This whole model has gone global. Turkey launched its massive Fatih project, handing out tablets to millions of students. And in the Arab world, Tahir Academy was created as an open-source platform trying to do the exact same thing, to free knowledge for everyone.
So what does all this really mean for the actual classroom? See, this digital revolution doesn't just put lectures on the internet. It completely transforms the roles of students and, I think most excitingly, teachers. Right, so the teacher is no longer just a delivery system for information. Since students can now watch the best lectures in the world from home, the teacher is freed up to become what they were always meant to be, a mentor. Classroom time shifts from just passively listening to actively motivating, discussing, and supporting. And just look who wins in this new system.
Teachers get to learn from the best teaching models out there, students are protected and get top-tier lessons they can pause and rewind anytime they want. And parents, they can finally help their kids effectively because the best explanation is right there. It's a win-win-win.
This new way of doing things really completes the circle of learning in our brains. It starts with getting the information, then it moves to reasoning and discussing it in the classroom, then forming new ideas with a mentor's help, and finally, applying that knowledge in the real world. That's how you build real, lasting understanding.
Okay, this brings us to our final and maybe most important point. We've looked at the philosophy, we've seen the problem, and we've seen a proven solution. The only thing left now is the will to actually do it, to embrace this path forward.
Because let's be real clear about this, the old way is obsolete. That one-dimensional model that just tries to pump out identical copies of students, that doesn't care about individual needs or talents or creativity, that is simply not acceptable for the challenges this generation is facing.
And the stakes here could not be higher. You got to remember that during a child's most important formative years, every single year spent with a bad teacher is an irreversible waste of the human mind. And that is the most valuable resource we will ever have. And so, it all boils down to this one question. The world is moving forward. We know that the real capital of a nation is its people. We have the tools. We can see the path. The only question left is, when are we going to see this renaissance truly begin?